What's going on with this camera? It's like
Rory-
Gonzo setup. It's like
Rory-
a found footage documentary.
Rory
It's
Estes.
unsettling. All right, here we
All
go.
right, then. I've committed maggot genocide today by filling a bin full of bleach and hot water while my dog that is reaching his teenage years, he's still intact. He's started to hump my very shapely legs. And so it was there.
Is your dog shagging like a tattoo of the bad guy from Monkey Island?
Cat in the hat.
Or the cat in the hat?
I guess he is. He does go for the right leg more, so I guess it is. Yeah, it is a cat in the hat that he's humping.
I love the idea of a vet saying, yeah, so normally dogs, when they reach this kind of age, will start to exhibit this type of behaviour, and it's normally perfectly understandable, and they'll move through the phase. However, in this case, Mr. Donaldson, I'm going to have to put the reasoning down to some very sexy tattoos.
Well, he's sort of...
As you just look down your legs covered in jizz.
He's making me think about dressing more conservatively in the morning, because...
Finally!
When he's... He's hot to trot as soon as he wakes up lately, and I'm like, I've got a kettle, I'm murdering maggots in my bin, and he's pumping away on my leg. It's not right.
It's not great.
It's not a great start to the day, to be honest.
No. And I think you sometimes have those mornings where you go, this is a bad one. Because I remember about 2 weeks ago, woke up at a ungodly hour with a screaming baby, of course, and my lady wife, who, let's be absolutely clear, does all of the heavy lifting when it comes to parenting, said to me, "I'll take care of him. Do you mind going and getting a bottle made up?" And so I was like, yeah, of course. So I went to wander into the kitchen. At that point, one of my cats, who had a cone put on him because he had an abscess that was drained, and therefore he can't judge any distances, and was just wandering around bumping into things in the flat while simultaneously, because he can't judge distances, doing a massive liquid shit all over the bathroom floor. And it was almost a bit like, with all the senses, the assault on all the senses, it felt a bit like waking up in an asylum.
It's very much that there's only so many times you can say to yourself, let's deal with the alligator close to the boat. But the alligator's on you, and there's three of them, and they're on the boat. And also, sinking. They're projectile shitting all over the boat as well.
There is no boat. There is no boat.
There is
You're
no
just
boat.
in the water.
You look down, and the crocodile is the boat. Oh, God. You're on a
Let's
crocodile.
deal with the tooth closest in the jaw for the crocodile. But speaking of
we know with crocodiles, if you press all of the teeth in order down, only some of them will make the crocodile's mouth shut.
I was actually going to say to you, Peter, maggots. Let's do a little bit on maggots.
Let's do a little bit on maggots.
Why don't these two little maggots do a little bit on maggots? I once left, when my cats were younger and they were still eating wet food, I left some wet food in the bowls in the morning and then went to work, and it was a particularly warm day. And when I got back, what had obviously happened was, basically, first of all, I couldn't work out why they weren't eating because the food was still in the bowl. And obviously, they've got a much more keen sense for this stuff than we have, and they were just like not going anywhere near it. Probably took one sniff and were like, no thanks. And obviously, flies had laid eggs on the fucking food, and under the surface of the meat was a load of maggots.
Oh, no.
Which was disgusting. What I actually did, and I don't know if this is protocol, but I just chucked it all down.
Encourage them to turn into flies.
I just chucked it all down the toilet and then flushed it.
Yeah, it's all right. That's absolutely fine.
That toilet seemed worse.
Coming out your bum. Yeah, I mean, the scale of the maggots found in the big bin was so worse than anything I've seen before. I had to hose down the black bags that I was taking out, lest my neighbours think I'm a scumbag. But it really was pretty horrific down there. It really was the tip of the iceberg. But the problem with maggots is you can't drown them, because they only and it's quite hard to poison them with bleach and stuff, because they don't drink from the surface of the water. They would sort of they would sort of break the surface a little bit to drink any of the fluid. So it's really quite difficult. And I'm having a similar trouble with slugs and snails in my garden as well. It's quite hard to get rid of slugs and snails when there's a little dog running around having a munch at the soil.
Will the dogs eat them, will they?
Yeah, they'll have a go. They'll eat anything that's not brown, and they'll eat everything that's brown as well.
So basically, if you put your dog in the garden and there's a couple of slugs knocking about, your dog's getting involved.
Oh, they won't. He's had a sniff. you can have a go, and they will probably get sick. It's not a great thing for dogs to eat.
Right.
But for now, he's kind of not shown that much interest. But it's certainly the slug pellets are the things that'll
it's dangerous. The world's a mad place because, like, you see a dog like rummaging through a bin and getting stuck into all sorts. Sometimes they'll eat up their own sick and their own shit sometimes.
A Kinder Bueno, though.
Don't
Put
give them
chocolate
6 feet
under.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. 6 feet under. It's crazy.
Yeah. What a disgusting start to the show.
Sorry, maggots and Kinder
Buenos.
My fault. Which one would you rather eat? A white Kinder Bueno or a lot of maggots freeze dried into the shape of a Kinder Bueno? I think I'd probably go for the maggots.